Yesterday was kind of like, you ever have those days where you have no idea what happened to that day?
Yes.
That's what my yesterday was.
You guys are live.
Mm-hmm.
After the Techno series, I don't even remember yesterday. I slept half of it, and then I got up and because I had the day off, I watched some football and was like, meh. And then I watched the NASCAR final and went, meh. And then I went back to sleep. And then family came home. We watched a little bit of The Walking Dead, catch up on that, and then I fell asleep again. And my Sunday is gone.
Are there going to be new episodes of The Walking Dead on AMC where you can actually watch them? Or do you have to have like their app now?
I don't know. We've got YouTube TV,
Uh-huh.
and we're getting caught up with all of the episodes. And I kind of didn't care about Walking Dead for a while, and then all of a sudden Emerson started watching. Emerson loves Walking Dead, so started watching again. Now I'm invested again. I'm like, hey, what's that guy? What's that guy? He's like, shut up and watch the show. God. So
Yeah.
I've been trying to catch back up, but it'll be on Netflix eventually. This season 11.
Yeah.
But right now I know it's on YouTube TV.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I don't know. But yesterday I had a horrible headache too. I mean, I had a big time nitro hangover yesterday, so I don't really remember much of yesterday at all. And then I woke up today and I was kind of productive. I worked on my tool drive today a little bit too. I put new arms on it. I put new hubs on it. I put new front hub inserts in it to clean the slop up. I got the factory team steering rack because you get they came out with the arms first.
Yeah.
So now my steering is all metal. Made sure to thread lock all that.
I don't like the steering rack or like the drag link or whatever it's called.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that in aluminum.
Well,
It kind of makes the car too direct feeling.
I've
like
broken
the
them though.
one. I've never broken one.
Yeah.
That's one thing I've never broken. Maybe I'm not driving fast enough. I don't know.
No, you just don't drive as stupid as I do. Guess what I found out?
What?
All right, this is how open I am. Okay. Crazy shit goes down. I'm totally open. I'll tell you anything. So a couple weeks ago, drove my car into the wall, bent my chassis. Took my off-road car apart. Okay. I switched out the rear hubs. As I'm taking off the right hub, I look down and it says L on it. And I was like, what? No way. And so then I looked over at the one I had just taken off on the left and it said R on it. So I've been running my associated rear hubs on the B4 backwards the whole time.
See, I did that on carpet on the 0.2, and it worked better that way on high grip.
Yeah. I was like, oh, man, the whole time. And then I looked over at my carpet car, and it was right. So I was happy about that. So, yeah, I just freshened my buggy up today since I had the time, and I was up. Got enough sleep. The hangover was gone, all that good stuff. So,
yeah.
And got some parts. I'm going to build another. I'm going to have 2 more diffs that are fresh, brand new in my box. So that the next time Emerson blows out his truck diff, I can just throw it in there and we can break it in.
Yeah. That's what I do.
And yeah. What else was I going to do? I was going to fix my crawler today, but the parts didn't show up. Apparently something got screwed up somewhere and they're overnighting them now, and they're going to arrive tomorrow.
Nice.
So my Vanquish truck is still broke.
I just did an associated order. I got my tire order for INS a couple of days ago, and I mounted up the tires on my truck. I'm going to try them on Friday. So these should be cool.
Yeah. I have a lot of work to do tomorrow on the track.
Yeah.
The track is bad.
You don't think it'll have grip for Friday?
I'm not worried about the grip. There are holes on the track that'll swallow your car right now.
Really?
That I got to fill up and replace. The only thing that I can attribute it to is the E-Truggy class.
Mm-hmm.
We had 3 heats of E-Truggy. We've never had E-Truggy before. And we had 3 heats of E-Truggy, and the track super blew out. So I'm kidding. It's probably not that fault. But you know what did happen was it's the far northwest corner. So it's the part of the track that always dries out first anyway, especially in the wintertime, because usually you get that north wind. But we had the doors open, of course, because it's a nitro race. Well, right there, both of those doors were open. And when I went over to kind of tried my best to repair it before the main, I mean, I just felt that wind just coming in. And so it just super dried out that portion of the track, and then it cracked, and then all these cars were grabbing the cracks, and they were picking them off, and they're flinging out there. So you had these kind of potholes just all over the place over there. And it didn't happen on the other side of the track. So I know what it was, and I thought I watered enough this week to kind of prevent that. But that northwest corner always seems to be the one part of the track that kind of can get like that, and it just surprised me. So I got a lot of work to do. I was thinking about how I was going to attack it, and I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a rake. I'm going to rake all the chips up. There's a lot of them. And I'm going to put them in the wheelbarrow, and I'm going to like spray water in it, and I'm going to try to like mix it up and break it down so that I can just sort of slop it into the holes and cut and like smooth it out like it was concrete, and then just tamp it really well.
Yeah.
And then we should be good for Friday.
Yeah. I bet the grip level will be really high on Friday. I hope it is.
Yeah, I hope so. If not, it's fine. I'll probably bring my 2-wheel drive out to have it there so I can drive it.
Yeah.
The changes I made to the track are really good, but yeah, I got a lot of work to do.
Mm-hmm.
You want to start the show officially?
Yeah.
All right. Hey guys, this is Alex Sturgeon with the Hobbytown Hobbyplex, and with me as always,
Will Brinton.
And we're here to talk about this week. We're going to chat up and hype up our kid, Nate Sutherland, who won the expert stock classes at Trackside at the Associated race this weekend. I want to talk about, of course, the Techno series that we had this weekend. We got some new stuff at the Plex that I thought I'd chime in and just kind of share with you guys how all that's going. And then we'll take some chat and all that good stuff. Speaking of which, I need to bring it up so that I can see how our chat's doing right now. So here's the deal. If you have a question or a comment that you want us to cover right away, you got to give us a super chat. Otherwise, we'll get to everybody's stuff at the end of the show.
Yeah, we haven't had a super chat in a while.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Listen, not that we're beggars for money or anything, but he and I are both going to Phoenix in about a month, and we need to pay for a rental car, so you can super chat us all you'd like, and we'd be greatly appreciated of it.
I'd be so happy.
You'd be so happy.
Taylor Swift in the podcast.
Oh man, I missed that. I missed Taylor Swifting back when that was funny.
Yeah. What was it? Taylor Swifting, and what was the other one?
Oh, I don't remember.
Like this was Taylor Swifting. And then there's one where you like walked like a dog dragging its butt.
Yeah.
And then that was somebody else. South Park reference.
I'll have to look that one up. This show is always brought to you by Pivot Lending Group. You can find it at pivotlending.com and mention our show and talk to Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad, and you can get yourself a 0.125 interest rate reduction or $500 lender credit. And I did hear that mortgage rates actually went down this week a little bit.
Ooh.
From a 8-year high or whatever it was.
Mm-hmm.
So
that'd be nice.
Yeah. My I'm going to vote no tomorrow on my Bennington Schools bond issue.
What's their bond issue?
Well, here's what's happening in Omaha, okay? Omaha's growing a little bit. And you got all these people coming into the city, and they're all looking for a place to live. And they all went, it's either Gretna, Elkhorn, or Bennington. So Bennington's been growing like crazy. When Gretchen and I built our house in 2007, there was no traffic. I could do 65 down State Street all day long. Nobody would bother me. You know, there wouldn't be any angry neighbor app posts about, stupid white truck that passed me on State Street or anything like that. And now, now that can happen. So all these people have moved out to Bennington, and what has done that is our property values have gone up. So our mortgage has gone up like $350 just in property tax, because like last year, escrow account was under. We had to pay into it. And so they had to make an adjustment. So we're paying way more than we ever have for our mortgage. And they want to put on top of that, it was supposed to be, the bond issue is supposed to add like another $100 to your escrow for the year, right? Which doesn't sound like it's a lot, but I'm already paying a shit ton more than I ever have, and it makes me mad. And so, no, I'm not going to give them any more money, so I'm voting no. There's got to be more money out there because they're taking more of it through property taxes.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, not to go off on a tangent there, but that's what I'm doing tomorrow. It's going to be great.
Yeah. Aaron asked me if I was going to vote tomorrow. And I was like, yeah, I guess. Yes. Tell me how you want me to vote. I don't pay attention to any of that.
That's actually the one issue I actually really give a shit about. I've said shit now 3 times on the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't give a shit.
Sorry. We need a little shit counter at the bottom. Ting, ting, ting.
Yeah. Shit.
That's one of the main issues. Like a lot of presidential elections, stuff like that. A lot of times I'm just like, whatever. I've voted libertarian a lot. So, but this year I'm like, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to vote no. And I don't care what anybody says about it.
I usually vote for the giant douche rather than the turd
sandwich. Yeah.
Yeah. Every time. I
was just reading the chat. Where were we at? We were at, we were talking about mortgage rates, and then I started thinking about my mortgage and how much more expensive it's gotten to live in my home.
How they're taking their jobs and stuff.
They're taking my jobs. So we had a couple things go on. We weren't here last week. I was sick, so we bowed out of the whole thing last week instead of doing it today. Instead, we did it today. Does that make any sense?
Yeah.
We normally don't do a show Monday nights on the first Monday of the month, but I was sick last week, so we kind of avoided it.
Yeah.
We had 2 big 10-scale races back-to-back. I believe the Masters of Dirt was last weekend, right?
Yeah, it was.
And then
that was a good one.
That was a good one. And then the trackside race was this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
The Team Associated Championships. And there wasn't very many surprises at the Masters of Dirt one.
No, not really.
Schimmel took the Masters of Dirt in the stock classes.
Yeah, and his car would have qualified like 4th and modified or something crazy. Yeah, like that guy's unstoppable. I saw you signed up for Stadium Truck at INS, so I was like, you know.
Yeah.
So see what happens.
And then Rivkin won the mod, right? The mod one?
Yeah.
That Spencer?
Yep. Yeah, he is the master of dirt.
He is now the master of dirt.
Yep. So I was actually, because Dustin Evans has won that so many times.
Mm-hmm.
He was always kind of who I chose to have a better overall finish for Masters of Dirt. Just his consistency overall. So I mean, good for Spencer, like racing with somebody that consistent. But I don't know. I'm glad that Stadium Truck is a class in that race. Like it's part of the overall.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But like you watch their trucks, they all like over rotate so weird.
Yeah.
All of them do.
Yeah, mod truck looked a little hairy altogether. But Beach has got such a grippy surface though too.
Does it?
That you got all those trucks with the big tires and they're all grinded down to slicks, so you're you're just loading up on grip out there.
Yeah. Well, like, see, that I would run mod truck at that one. I personally, I think it would be cool to run modified truck at that race to see,
Yeah.
what I could do or how I could hang. Usually, like mod truck, for some reason, I always end up with a really good truck setup that ends up being really good.
Yeah.
But
Well, I mean, there's a reason for that. You're pretty good at truck.
yeah.
No matter what motor's in it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Gas, electric.
Yeah.
Just need a trucker hat, I kind of have one, it's got the holes on the back. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
wear these, because they look like a trucker hat.
But Nate Sutherland went down to Masters of Dirt, and he did pretty good. I think he finished second in 4-wheel, but beyond that, I can't remember what he did, and the points weren't there for him to beat Brennan, of course. But then we go a week later, and here we go to the Team Associated Championships at Trackside. Completely different sort of deal. So, Beach RC's got this fairly large track, real square, lots of, I would say the ability to have a little bit more just outright speed, because it's just a bigger track. Although I will say the track, they always do this. It's always pretty technical the last couple of years. The year I went, there was a lot going on, and it looked like there was a lot going on this year. So, but that being said, it's just a bigger track, You're still on Silver Slicks, but it's a different, it's kind of a red clay kind of dirt, But then you go to this smaller track, smaller lanes, still very technical, and Nate goes out there and he TQs both stock buggy and 4-wheel drive, 13.5 4-wheel drive, and then goes on to win both of them.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I mean, that's pretty rad. That's a really big deal.
Oh yeah.
In my opinion. So I wanted to start the show with that. Because he's been close. He's kind of bounced back and forth between mod and stock a few times at these things. And but in this one, I mean, I watched the A3. I got to watch A3 yesterday. Like I said, I was asleep for half the day, so I kind of missed it. Sorry. But I did watch A3. I watched A3 of 2-wheel drive mod. I watched A3 of 4-wheel drive mod. And I missed the stock one. But then you got in 13.5 4-wheel drive is Nate, Doug Lariviere. Did I get the last name right? I think I did.
If you say so.
Was second. But then Tyler Pattenow, another kid that we see quite often at the Plex, got third. So that's pretty freaking cool.
Yeah. No, I thought that was pretty cool.
Zach Gastelum was up there, finished fifth. Colton Cruz he's from that area, I believe, and he lives in Phoenix now, but finished sixth. So that's really good. And then in 2-wheel drive, where's my 2-wheel drive? Right there. So Doug finished second again behind Nate. Zach Gastelum got third in that one. And kind of the same group. Pattenow was sixth. Colton Cruz down there in 10th, but making the main. Craig Schlegel, Matt Willibert, Rich Peters 8th, Skylar Bergeron 8th, Colin Miles 9th. So a good group there in stock too. And then did you see Thelke TQ'd and won 40 plus?
Yeah, good for him.
And Alan finished second ahead at Ciccarello. So I'm going to see both of those guys. Actually, I'll probably see all three of those guys in Phoenix, I'm thinking.
Yeah.
That's why I'm kind of anxious to get back on the track on dirt, just to drive. I'm having fun carpet off road, don't get me wrong, and it's intense. It's way more intense than what we normally do on the big track, in my opinion. But I'm anxious to get my car back on the dirt for practice, just to get a good feel of it. So, and then of course in 4-wheel drive mod, Spencer Rivkin following up after the Masters of Dirt stuff, took the win in 4-wheel. Aiden Horn was second, Ryan Cavalieri third, Dustin Evans, Ty Tessman, Chase Lemieux, Cole Tollard, Aaron Kaufman, Tyler Witt, and Dominic Passion was up there.
That's cool.
Finished 10th in Mod 4-wheel.
Nice.
And then in Mod 2-wheel drive, it was Aiden Horn getting the win. That's good for him. He hasn't won anything big in a little while. It's been a little bit. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
It's kind of a home track almost for him. I mean, I know they're from Michigan, but still, kind of that general Region 5 area.
Yeah.
Cavalieri, what a great finish for Ryan in 2-wheel. Qualifying 5th, but finished 2nd. Chase Lemieux was your TQ. That definitely is a home track for him. And then Spencer Rivkin was 4th, Tessman 5th, Drayton Staub. How does that kid do that?
I don't know. He shows up out of nowhere.
Just shows up out of nowhere, makes the main, finishes mid-pack in front of Dustin Evans, Cole Tollard, Tyler Witt, and Charlie Mariana.
I think I have to take my dog out.
Okay.
So just keep going.
I'll just talk for a little bit.
Okay. All right.
And then, Will's gone, so I don't sound like I'm just standing here. But I also wanted to give a big shout out to our boy Carson Sanders. So what I thought was really cool was they have a novice class at this every year, kind of like how we do at the Pro Tech race. I kind of feel bad we didn't have Plex Spec at the INS race this year, but I was expecting that race to fill up to the point where we would be out of pit space. And if we had Plex Spec, it would have taken entries away from classes that are competing for like a national level points championship, right? So that's why we didn't have it to INS. I think next year we'll see if we can add it or not. But Carson Sanders with a TQ and a win, and he finished 2 seconds ahead of the other 3 kids. But they all looked. I mean, there was 2 brothers here, it looks like, and it just looked like they all had a really good time. And then what I thought was really cool was Carson got to get his picture taken with the Team Associated, in front of the Team Associated banner with everybody else. So he was up there with Spencer Rivkin, Brent Thelke, Aiden Horn. The other dude's running short course, I think, was another one. And 21.5 Buggy was another one. So that's pretty cool. That's going to be one of those things that Carson's going to be able to hang his hat on a little bit. And I just thought that was really neat. So good job, Carson. I know Mike went up there too. And to be real honest with you, I don't know where he finished. See if I can find it here. Go through some stuff. Man, some of these guys, I just don't know how they do it. I mean, we've been traveling a lot more. We've traveled more this year than I think than I have in the last couple of years. And that's without my dad's help. My dad used to give me free hotel points, and I used to be like, oh, I can go do that. But there's Mike. So 8th place in the stock buggy E main. And there was all the way down to a stock buggy I main. So ain't nothing to worry about with that. And I think he made the Stadium Truck A main. So Talon Henley, who's done really well this year in Stadium Truck, got the win in Stadium Truck. And then it looks like Sanders was 10th, but it looks like he might have broken out. Still, made the main. That's pretty cool. Stadium Truck B, Stadium Truck C. So there was a C main in Stadium Truck. That's pretty good. So overall, just a big shout out to Nate Sutherland for getting it done. We'll see what happens. I think he's going to the Invite. I wonder if he's going to go to the Invite next week at Fastlane. See if I can find it real fast before I bore you guys to death here. Fastlane. Search. Fastlane Raceway.
Okay, I'm back.
All right. I'm looking to see. We got the invite next week, right?
Right.
And I'm looking to see who's in the invite.
Okay. I got invited to that, but it was like 3 weeks ago. It's like like I'd love to go.
Yeah.
I and I want to go. Like I want to go next year.
Yeah,
like, I just need to plan on it.
I get invited every year too, and the timing never works out. Like I remember in 2020. Wait, did they have it in 2020?
I think so, because I went 2 years ago. That would have been the year I went, and we're like all social distance and everything.
Yeah.
Limited entries and.
Oh yeah, okay.
I was like third in two wheel.
That's right. In 2020, I didn't go because I didn't have any money because I went to the Masters of Dirt, and it was 2 or 3 weeks before that, so I was pretty much tapped out for the year. And then I think last year I didn't want to go because I only had one car and it was set up for carpet.
Yeah. I don't have a 4-wheel right now either, so that was kind of a decision too.
But one of these years I'm gonna go. It's not that I don't want to go. It's just it never really works out timing wise. I'm not going this year because I need to save my money for our Phoenix trip. So just can't.
I mean next year because we're gonna go to the Masters of Dirt and stuff.
Yeah, it's gonna be hard.
Some other races, but I mean I can plan around that.
Yeah.
Like I can just plan on going.
But I am going to the January thing, the ProTech Jam.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm signed up for 40 plus mod, 13.5 wheeler, and slash.
Okay. I should sign up.
And Emerson's going to race expert stock 4-wheel drive, buggy 13.5 4-wheel drive, and probably stadium truck.
When is the January Jam?
The end of January.
Okay, I should be able to do that.
I think. I haven't told my wife yet. She doesn't watch the show, so it's fine. But I haven't told her yet. That's why I don't want to go home for Christmas.
Yeah,
because I don't want to take those days off.
Well, I'll get 3 weeks of vacation in January. So.
Oh, well, there you go.
You get it up front.
Yeah. I am still trying to find the post. While we were talking, I was trying to find the post of who's going to the invite this year. And it's not.
Did you look on Fastlane's Facebook page?
I thought I did. Maybe this is the Fastlane group and not the actual Fastlane. No, it is. It does say that. Huh.
Should be on there.
Yeah. Well, here's the invite page. A lot of money up for grabs at that.
Yeah.
I never do good at money races like that.
I've never ran one, I don't think. I don't think I've ever run a money race. Not for RC cars.
I always get hammered, or I always get accused of getting hammered like Randy Ryder once when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I told that story on here. I think I did.
It was a few weeks ago.
Yeah, it was a few weeks ago. All right, so there you go. So just to wrap up, trackside race, pretty awesome. And I don't know, kind of, I keep thinking this year's kind of going to dwindle down, but then we've got the for 10th scale. And then you got AMS next week too. And then the week after that is you've got the big carpet race at Cleveland. And then the week after that, the same weekend that we're in Phoenix, they're having the off-road portion of that. And then the Florida champs are also the end of this month.
Yeah. There's a lot of racing.
I mean, holy crap, dude. And then the Top Gun.
I don't know how you could do them all.
And then the Top Gun race at SDRC.
Yeah.
So, I mean, there's just a lot to go. There's a lot to go on, a lot to choose from, too. You know?
Yeah, guys at work, they're like, "So do you have like an off season?" It's like, "No, dude, you could
Uh,
go to a big race every weekend all year long."
If you wanted to, you could. If I won that Powerball tonight or
I got
tomorrow,
it.
whenever they
I
do
got a
that,
ticket. I got
I
a
got
ticket.
one ticket.
Mm-hmm. I guess your odds don't really improve if
They
you buy
don't.
more than one.
They don't. That's why I'm not buying more than. I was just about to say I had somebody. I was behind lottery guy at Casey's the other day, and he was buying like $50 worth of tickets. And then I went up there and I'm like, I'll have one Powerball, please. And the guy was like, only one. I'm like, yeah, your odds don't change. If I buy $50 or $1, your odds literally don't change.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not wasting $50 on Powerball tickets.
Yeah. I don't know. I told Aaron, it's like, we'll buy one. We can't afford not to. It's only $2,
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
$2. Why wouldn't you want to do that? And
Well, I got
you get a little bit of entertainment just from thinking about what you would do with that money. I guarantee, you know what I would do? I wouldn't get the lump sum. If it's that big, I'd get the annuity.
mm-hmm.
Because if
Let's
it's
see.
that big, it doesn't really. Who cares if I die 20 years from now?
I guess they draw on the 6th. No, what day is it? 7th?
Yeah,
No, that's when I bought it.
right.
When do they draw?
I thought it was Monday night. I thought the Mega
Oh,
Millions.
it's tonight.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's
Mega
tonight.
Millions is Tuesday night. Powerball's Monday night.
Mm-hmm. So, I like these numbers. They look pretty good. I'm looking at them right now. Um, what I would want to do, you know what I'd want to do? I would probably, I don't know if I take the lump sum. Do you get more if you get the what is
Yes.
it?
So
Okay.
here's the way. Here's the way. My dad's super big into lottery, so he's broken it down so many times for me that I think I'm well versed in this.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the time, if it's under a certain amount, in my opinion, you take the lump sum. Just get it out of the way. Let the government take half or more than half, whatever the hell it is. And then
37%.
right, and
I looked it up.
then you just go ahead and take the rest of it. Then you're going to have to do a couple things. You have to either, because in some states you can be basically anonymous, but in Nebraska you're contractually obligated to go up there, get a picture with your name and everything. So
Really?
if you win, prepare for like your long lost brother's second cousin, third once removed person to come up and go, give us some money, I want some money, blah 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 blah. So get ready for that. So you got to hire a lawyer like right away. Hire a lawyer and just prepare yourself for the onslaught of people like trying to get in on your luck, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then I think you take some of that and you diversify. You got to like invest in some stuff and just try to take care of the money and don't blow it all in one spot,
Yeah.
But
So here's my
if it's
idea.
this
Okay.
big, hold on. If it's this big, if it's 1 point whatever billion dollars, do the annuity.
Mm-hmm.
Because those yearly payments are going to be crazy, and it doesn't honestly at that point does it really matter how much the government's going to take for you? Because the thing against taking the annuity is that I guess our government could change tax laws and eventually 10 years down the road could take 90% of it if they wanted to, I guess. But if it's that big, who cares at that point?
Yeah.
You're poor anyway, so it's just I don't know.
Yeah. So my idea, if I win the lottery, what I would want to do, and you would be involved, is I would want to build a hotel with an RC track in it. And so the idea is, and you could like rent the rooms to people, like to pit out of, like they could pay like, I don't know, $500 a month or whatever it is. They could live there and race RC cars at the track, and so you'd have a track in one area, like so like downtown, like Embassy Suites or whatever.
Sure. Yeah.
So you have that big area where they have like a restaurant and a whole bunch of other stuff in there. Put a track there, dirt off road, whatever you want, carpet, whatever, and then you'd have another area that you could rent out, like for gatherings or whatever, to pay for the track because the track ain't gonna make any money, and So you could have all these big races. Everybody comes in. You can stay in the hotel, and the track's like there in the building.
Hmm.
And you know, I'd pay you like $1 million or whatever, like for the rest of your life or whatever it would cost, to get you just to come and run it and build the track. And I just get to race RC cars and maybe put a restaurant in. I don't know. We could probably like deep fry some pre-made chicken strips or something, and maybe a hot dog or two. And we'd have to have hot dogs because we used to have hot dogs at the Plex. We don't have hot dogs at the Plex no more, you know. And probably not a bar. I don't think like beer wouldn't be out of the question. Like maybe for a big race, you bring in kegs or something, but probably wouldn't have a bar. And that's my idea. And then I could like have a penthouse suite up top that I live in, and you could live in it too. Live in one. We'd build you another floor.
I feel like a giant douche.
Why?
Because my plan isn't that cool at all.
Don't you think that'd be cool?
No, that would be cool. That would be cool.
And then you could like, okay, so you get the airplane helicopter club or whatever, and they can come in and like fun fly in like one room. You know, you have like a dance hall or something. They could fly their indoor flyers in there, and it just make it like cool, you know.
Yeah.
And then when you're not doing that, you could rent it out to weddings or whatever.
Man.
Is that a good idea?
My idea is much more selfish.
Is that a good idea?
That's a great idea.
I would donate part of it to charity though, just for karma.
My plan is to pay for everybody's like homes, like yours, Chris's, my buddy Aaron's, Margie's, Margie and Richard, my dad, my in-laws. Just take care of those guys. Make sure that, you know, they're cool. I'm not going to give them like a whole bunch of free money, but I feel like paying off like all my buddies' homes would be a good thing.
Yeah.
Right. Then I would leave.
Yeah.
I would leave and I would never have to talk to another person again if I didn't want to.
Yeah.
But I would go race. Honestly, Gretchen and I would have a home somewhere warm. With that much money, you could afford to fly back to Cedar Rapids to see your family anytime you want to. So there's not this, you know, one of the reasons why we've never even thought about, well, I've thought about, but why she's never wanted to move is because she wants to be close to her family. I mean, at that point, you know, you can do that anytime you want to. And then I would just go race. I'd have 8 scales, 10 scales, whatever. That'd be my thing. But I would never lift another finger to build a racetrack ever again.
Yeah.
Like never. I'd be done. Over.
Right. I thought about just building like a compound we could all live on. Like I could build you and Gretchen a house, and then me and Aaron a house, and you know, Kyle and Kara a house, and Andy and Kelsey a house, and then we could just go live on this compound. We could do whatever we want out there by sides or whatever. But
dude, it'd be fishing and racing for me.
Mm-hmm.
And Emerson, I suppose we'd have to go somewhere where we could have a motorcycle trail or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
That's what he wants to. You know, he said now that one of his goals when he gets older is he wants to live out in the country and own land. Just so that he can have that sort of thing. Like he can ride his motorcycle whenever he wants to without worrying about the sheriff pulling him over.
Mm-hmm.
And hunting and fishing.
Yeah, that or I just disappear. Like I just peace out.
Yeah, I mean seriously. I mean, the thing about the lottery is in many cases you almost have to do that anyways. Mm-hmm. Because most of the time it's somebody like you know, a lot of times it's somebody that's been fairly normal, you know, living paycheck to paycheck. You suddenly get that much money. It's very easy to lose it, but it's also very easy to get surrounded by people who are like vultures and would pick at you and want to take all your money.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
I would consider legally changing my name.
Yeah, right?
I would too. I'd change it to Max Power or Lance Romance legally. I'd probably legally change my name to Max Power. Is that a sweet name?
That
That's
is a sweet name.
name.
I know what Emerson would change his to.
What?
Mike Hawk.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Michael Hawk, huh?
Yep, Michael Hawk.
Isn't that Tony Hawk's son? He goes by Mike.
Mine would be Drake Tungsten.
Drake Tungsten.
Ooh, that's a strong name.
I'd probably bring up, you know what? Now I'd probably bring up my my comic book character I came up with in high school.
Is it Max Power?
Obsidian Knight. Sid.
That's a sweet name.
Sid for short.
Or I legally changed my name to Bruce Wayne.
Oh, man. We went off on a tangent there, didn't we?
That's okay.
Yeah, that's fine. If I did win, boy, I don't know. Be kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd have like Eyes Wide Shut parties and shit.
Back before the new owner. back before John bought the Plex, like, honestly, I probably, well, no, I wouldn't. Married, what am I saying? Maybe. Back before John bought the place, I always thought if I won the lottery, like, I would buy the off-road track.
Yeah.
That was my plan. Like, to buy the off-road track and to, like, fully insulate it, just get it, just completely get the thing insulated completely, so you get rid of the roof drip and put some fans in there, and maybe not even do the garage door thing, just get a bunch of really high powered fans in there instead. Way better heaters, just kind of make it even better than it already is. Because, I mean, since we're on the topic, I mean, now that like I said, I've traveled more this year than I have in a long, long time. And the Plex used to be like top shelf, like good, right? And I still think we are in many ways. I think our hobby shop is still probably the best one out there. Just as far as like everything that we have don't have just RC stuff. We've got more than that. So I think the hobby shop in general keeps us up there. But the actual dirt track facility, though, I can see it. Lacking certain things now. That in the future I would like us to try to patch up.
Sure.
That the walkway underneath the pit lane, underneath the driver's stand. That when we get this new pit lane, I'm coming in when we move it this month. I'm coming in and I'm going to regrade that whole thing. We're going to peel up all that carpet, and I'm going to drizzle dirt in there and use the tamper, and I'm going to try to, make it better. But I've always thought that's where a lot of the dust that gets inside comes from, is the walkway. It's not the track, it's the actual walkway itself.
Yeah.
I would love to.
Wonder if you could like seal it with something.
Yeah. I always thought how much it'd be if we could concrete the whole thing, but we can't. Because of the easement.
Yeah.
So it's one of those crappy things that we kind of have to live with,
Yeah, I wonder if you just like spray like Elmer's glue in there, tamp it, get it how you want, and just that, or you could brick it. I don't know.
Yeah, Tommy brought that up. He's like, well, what if we like do that? Pave it. Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But Then you just look at, I go back and I watch videos on YouTube sometimes about, right around 2012 and 13.
Mm-hmm.
And I think my track layouts are way better now than that time period. But if you look around the building, like it's white, like it's clean and white. And when you go in there now, sometimes I get almost depressed just because of all the dirt that's on those side walls now.
Yeah.
It's not mold, which is good. It's just dirt. It's just dust and dirt. Because think about how many nitro races we've ran.
Mm-hmm.
And the track dries out and the exhaust gets up in the air and it lingers and all that dust gets kicked up and then it kind of sticks to that and it just grows and grows and grows. And I don't know. It's stuff like that. We tried power washing it before the INS race this year. Tom Smith did. And it kind of helped. But it's so on there that we couldn't get rid of all of it. It still had like a stain. It was almost stained.
Yeah. You paint it.
Yeah. It's fabric though. Can you paint that? I suppose you could paint it. I don't know.
Try painting it. You can try it. I don't know. What do you got to lose?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I mean, I guess like I said, sometimes I see stuff that other people don't, that I worry about more than anything, but I'm sure, I mean, Hoosier Hobbyplex, it's a nice place, and I loved how they had they had this big, gigantic concrete brick things that people build retaining walls with now. They're like 8 foot long and 4 feet wide and a couple feet tall, and you can stack them and all that. I mean, they had those all around the track, which I thought was a pretty neat way to contain that track. A lot of indoor tracks have trouble with that. I remember Winter Circle, long time ago, Rob's track. One night we showed up and the wood that was holding up the dirt had broken, and all the dirt had gone over everything, and that had to be all cleaned up.
Yeah,
but. But then we have weekends like this and kind of realize you don't really need to worry about a whole lot of stuff because everybody seems to be pretty happy, even if the track did break up quite a bit. So this weekend we had the big Techno series round 1, and a couple weeks prior I had built the track for it. Kind of changed us over to more of a 8-scale oriented layout, a lot bigger jumps, a little wider lanes. And I heard a lot of positive stuff about the layout, so I was happy. Made some last minute changes to the track Thursday night, stuff that I'd wanted to do. Because what's kind of nice about building the track that early is you can test it. You can see if stuff doesn't quite flow. And a couple things didn't quite flow. So I went back and I fixed them. So you'll see them Friday. The middle of the oval jump is actually a jump now. And the back tabletop has a better landing now. It's a lot smoother.
Nice.
And I changed the pipe at the end of the straightaway. I made it about a foot wider, which didn't help people from smashing right into it.
Yeah.
So, whatever. But, so we had 193 entries, 102 drivers. Our first ever e-truggy class was added this year. And I can name quite a few people that weren't there that normally are. But I think this year especially, things are changing a little bit due to travel. And this was, I was kind of worried about this. I think the cost of traveling, like driving, is going to be up there, especially starting in a couple weeks. I think it's going to actually cost even more to travel now, just gas wise. So, there was a race in Colorado that was kind of an indoor arena race, and I saw pics of it. Looked great. That had most of the Colorado gang there, and then some of the Minnesota racers are sticking a little bit closer to home. It sounds like, which is fine. I mean, I've told people that before, that I always try to make these things work for us locally. And when I say locally, I'm thinking within an hour, if possible, of drive time. And if people come from farther away than that, that's awesome. But that shouldn't be your main goal, right?
Right.
And so, I think that that's pretty cool. That some of the racers from Minnesota and North Dakota and stuff are staying closer to home, because they got tracks close to home. You should support them for sure.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Oh yeah, like the 510 and
yeah. And the Toy Box, I think, is another one that just went to Astro, and of course Thunder Road up there. So, that being said, we still had more entries than I was expecting.
Yeah,
I was thinking like
150.
I was thinking the 150.
190?
Yeah, 193. I had it in my head that we were going to get like 150. And when I took all the entries on Friday night, we were at like 102. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's about right. Well, we added another 100 entries on Saturday. So, so the plan sort of worked. You can't race sportsman and expert. You got to pick one. And if you don't have any sponsors, you can run either. If you have sponsors, you have to run expert. And a sportsman electric buggy was the biggest class. I think there was 40 something cars. And on any years prior, possibly up to 30 of those entries would have also raced expert.
Mm-hmm.
So, if it was last year, we still had a possibility of having like 230 or 40 entries.
Mm-hmm.
So, the plan kind of worked. Instead of taking pre-entries and worrying about all that, and then worrying about people that didn't get the memo and show up anyways, and then it turns into a thing, or it turns into a cluster like it did. Remember 2020, we had to limit entries, and there's a few people that were like, oh, I didn't know. I don't have Facebook. So, which leads me to think, well, how did you know the dates then? Because I only put them on Facebook.
Yeah. Yep.
But anyways, it's a great time. Some of the bigger names, Mason Fuller was there. Tebow, Jared Tebow was there. The Herricks came up from Hutch again. We had some newcomers, people who had never been there before, which is great. And then kind of your usual suspects and a few surprises, I think we'll see here in the mains. We'll start with the way that we start the main. So Sportsman Nitro Buggy. So you had Alec, I'm going to kill this last name, Udston. Took the win from the 6th qualifying position. And Tyler Studer got 2nd. Tyler was ahead with, but he had some sort of electronic problem early. Came in, it was like a minute pit stop, and then he caught all the way back up right at the end of the race. It was a 20-minute main, and then he had another problem that set him back another 40-second stop maybe, but he was still able to get 2nd. I mean, Tyler was probably the fastest car on the track. You just got to get those gremlins out of there.
Mm-hmm.
And but whatever. David Bradford, he picked up the sticks again and got 3rd. Qualified 2nd, got 3rd. Mark Dunn got the bump, and he did really well in the main. I think he was doing 10-minute stops too, which helps if you can do that. Finished 4th. Mark Gerard, I believe it was his first time there. Finished 5th. Keith Vanderhyde was 3rd. Okay. We just got a super chat. Damn it. I'm gonna have to say it. Keith Vanderhyde qualified 3rd, finished 6th. John Davies, I think he had a problem and got back out there. He brought Randy Kiesling with him to be his pit guy, which is pretty cool. Seeing Randy around. Qualified, finished 7th. Ryan Dobson, I believe this was Dobson's first time here. He was up there in 2nd, and he was battling for the lead, if I remember correctly, and he broke. and but finished 8th overall. Bill Nichols, another one, had a problem. Connor Herrick had a problem early, and then after like 5 or 6 minutes was put back out there, and was hoping to get around some of these guys that also broke out, but he was too far back, so finished 10th. So 3 lead changes. You had Studer, and then you had Ryan Dobson. He led for the middle part of the race, and then Alec took over at the end. So Jackson Anderson gave us a super chat of $5 American.
Wow.
However, it says, "I'm the best racer that has ever lived." Joke, LOL.
Yeah, that's a thing between Jackson and I.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, because I'll go, "Oh no, you're the best." Anyway,
You're the best. Okay, we had Expert Nitro, A-Main. This one started off close and then wasn't, and it was very quickly wasn't. And got to give Jared Tebow some big props for this, because he hasn't done this in a while at the Hobbyplex, because Mason and Seth have just been there, just the same. They've been able to sometimes even be faster. I mean, not sometimes, but it's been a dogfight between those three for the last couple of years now. But I will say the track really broke up. And I talked about that earlier. The track really broke up bad, especially on the west end of the racetrack. And I'm telling you, when the tracks get like that, Jared Tebow just is able to manage it better than a lot of other drivers out there.
Oh yeah.
He did it. I saw him do it in 2017 at the Nationals at State Line. The track was brutal, just brutally blown out, and just bumps, holes everywhere. And Jared was able to drive through it. He did it to TQ the Worlds the year prior in 2016. That track was pretty beat up. You've seen him do really well at a lot of other outdoor events, but those two come to mind. But he, he pulled away after the first pit stop, I think. Really, after about halfway through the second pit stop, that was kind of the point when he sort of pulled away. Mason Fuller and him were actually matching fast laps. I think they both did like 22.6s or something like that. And they're the only one. They're really the only ones to get into the mid 22s, even on that blown out track. So, but Jared got 76 laps. Mason got 73.
Wow.
Yeah. So Jared really dropped the hammer on Saturday, and I think he's pretty happy about it. It's been a while since he's actually won a Nitro Buggy main at this series, and then we kind of stopped doing big Nitro races there right around the 2018.
I think so.
Was our last one. So, because we just weren't getting the turnouts.
Right.
Which is crazy. You get more turnout the last 2 years so far in the Techno series than we got at any of our big Nitro events.
Yeah.
So crazy. Mason Herrick, very strong finish for him. He was only 1.3 seconds back from Mason Fuller at the end of the race. And Mason Herrick just sort of hung in there. He really didn't let the two ahead of him get away until Jared got away. And then he never really let Mason Fuller get away. He just sort of hung in there, Mitchell Pavel got a really good finish. I think he's got 2 brand new Mugans out there.
Yeah, I saw that.
Finished 4th. Chris Morant, who I believe was working on like no sleep for 24 hours, again, finished 5th. Bradley Peterson finished 6th. How about Logan Prismanis? Making the main without bumps, qualified 8th into the Expert A main after winning Sportsman last year, finished 7th. And then Danny Bartholomew, his first time back at the Plex in quite a long time.
Danny raced?
Danny raced, and he bumped up and finished 8th. Matt Kessel made the main. Straight away finished 9th, and Shelby Parker, one of the few Colorado people, he straight up made the main and finished 10th. And I do think Mason was having some electronic issues up there too. There was a couple electronic gremlins. So I think in the Sportsman A main, Studer's receiver pack wire was like loose.
Yeah.
So when the first time he came in and had that long pit stop, I think it was to get like reposition it. Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't come apart. And then I think it did it later on in the race too. So, but I think Mason Fuller said he was having some electronic issues as well. So I think that's what he said in his post.
Yeah.
So we knock out, I love the Techno Series main structure we have because ever since we went to Sportsman and Expert, I get the buggy races done and over with because it's such a huge stress reliever for me, you know? Mm-hmm. So Expert, not Expert, but Mini Truggy, Caden Bairding, he's the class of the field right now. He finished 2 laps ahead of everybody else. His truck looks really good. And I don't know, it's just really neat to watch him have fun with that. Tyler Fleming from the 10 to the 2. So he bumped up and then finished second. Wonder what truck that is back there. You guys watching right now see the little white truck that's behind Will back there? We're gonna find out what truck that is later on. I don't know what he's doing. He's either going to get his dog or he's going to get a cat. One of the few. He's being real quiet about though. Like quiet, like I wonder if he's got like a home invader. Wouldn't that suck if we're like live on the live stream and somebody home invades Will's house? Wouldn't that be awful? That'd be the worst. God. Oh, it's a dog. Okay, good. All right, I was worried. Yeah, Will get swatted.
Huh?
Nothing. We were just trying to figure out what you were off doing.
Dasha was howling because she wanted to come downstairs.
Oh,
so
poor dog.
I was like, everybody can probably hear that.
So Tyler Fleming got the bump, finished second. David Fast qualified third, finished third. Bryson Pavel finished fourth. Mark Gerard fifth. John Haas finished sixth. Ronnie Went was seventh. Connor Herrick was eighth. Don Drews was ninth, and Patrick Mitrovic, in his first time back over in a year, finished 10th. I think we'll get to talk about him later, I think. Mm-hmm. Then you got the Truggy A main. Emerson was pretty bummed out that his truck wasn't ready yet, but I had been warning him for the last month and a half that the Techno Series was going to be here way sooner than he thought. And he was there Friday trying to get his truck going. And I'm like, dude, that ain't happening. I mean, we haven't even fired that engine up yet. So there's no way.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I'm like, there's no way we're going to be able to run tomorrow. And that's way too much stress on me. So I'm like, if you want to try, you can. Well, it turns out he didn't put his front brake linkage on when he built his truck. Mm-hmm. So he couldn't even get his linkage together anyway. So we're going to try to make the next one. That being said, Chris Morant, previous Truggy champ, got the TQ and win. Brandon Carney, qualified third, finished second. Matt Kessel qualified second, finished third. So the is it WSR? What's that brand? That brand of car?
WRC.
WRC. So WRC trucks qualified first and second, finished first and third. Patrick Mitrovic from the 8 to the 4. Dane Gangler was 5th. Kyle Quast was 6th. Tyler Studer was 7th. John Davies was 8th. Bill Nichols was 9th. And Derek Bates qualified bumped up and finished 10th.
Oh, Derek's racing again? That's cool.
Yeah. And let's see here. We'll go to Sportsman. Sportsman Electric. So now we have 3 electric mains to finish out the Techno Series night instead of 2.
Mm-hmm.
You had Connor Herrick getting the win. TJ Williams qualified third, finished second. And then Tyler Studer was third. Bryson Pavel was fourth. Nick Poppenfuss was fifth. Dane Gangler got the TQ, had a rough main, finished sixth. Nick Pavel got the bump, finished seventh. Alec Goodston qualified eighth, finished eighth. Connor Hausch got the bump, finished ninth. And then Ryan Dobson, he was out early as well in this one. I believe he was up there battling it. So at one point, finished 10th. I will say Connor Hausch was at one point, I think in second, maybe even third. Like Connor had such a great start. There was kind of if I remember right, I didn't get video of it, but there was kind of a massive pileup at the start of this one, and it really shuffled the field around. This is one of those live RC graphs that's all over the place.
Yeah.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 lead changes in 10 minutes. So
wow.
about a lead change a minute almost. That's pretty crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. All right, so here we go. Our inaugural. No. This is Expert A Main. I'm sorry. So Expert Electric A Main had Mason Fuller with the TQ and win. Jared Tebow second. They were close, but Mason did pull away in this one. So it's kind of the opposite of the Nitro race. It was closer, obviously, in the finish because Jared Tebow got caught at the line by 0.4 of a second. Otherwise, he would have been on the same lap. But still, these two were dropping, 22-second laps pretty consistently.
Mm-hmm.
Mason Herrick was third. Drew Rubenking was fourth. If Drew would have been able to get around the first couple laps without a major mistake, because he dropped back early, but he was the only other driver to get a fast 22-second lap besides Mason and Jared Tebow.
Mm-hmm.
So he did claw his way back up to fourth overall. Mitchell Pavel was fifth. Again, great. His car looked really good. His new Mugen looks really good. Caden Beardy was sixth. Brandon Carney was seventh. David LaRoe, I believe this is his first time, finished eighth. Danny Bartholomew was ninth. And then Tyler Canine, last year's Sportsman champ, finished 10th.
Nice.
And now we get to our inaugural E-Truggy main. And I thought that Truggies always looked... our modern Truggy looks so big on the track. But for some reason, E-Truggy looks bigger. And I know they're the same size. But on the track, they look bigger for some reason.
Sure.
Anyways, I just thought I'd throw that out there. Nobody got killed, which is nice. Really nice. I don't even think anybody got ran into. There was, earlier in the day, I think it was Travis Toot. There was so he went to go get a buggy in the triple. And this is like my worst nightmare. And he almost got hit in the back of the head by an 8 scale. It was like this close. Like his head was here, and the car was here. It was so close. And I was like, dude, make sure you. I had to remind everybody, hey, look both ways, and if there's people coming, that guy sucks. Sorry. We'll get you in a second. Like, don't sacrifice yourself for somebody else's car. Yeah.
If I ever get hit by a car again, somebody just grab me and escort me outside, because I get so upset when I get hit by a car.
Yeah. I tried to make it so the expert buggy guys didn't have to marshal E-Truggy.
Mm-hmm.
But there was no good way around it this time. Like if I would have moved E-Truggy and expert buggy around, then there would have been like 4 or 5 guys from Sportsman also running E-Truggy, and then the other 2 more running. So the marshalling situation just wouldn't have been very good. So I kind of had I had no choice. But it was the expert, I mean, it was the A main guys in E-Truggy, so it wasn't really that bad. I think Travis Toot also got hit in the foot by another 8 skill. That dude unfortunately was like a target. Anyways, Tyler Studer got the win in this one. Dan Gangler had it until like either the last lap or the second to last lap. Let me look at the graph. Second to last lap. Tyler was pretty fast. He had this run. There was a part of the track where he made up a lot of ground, and that's actually where he made the pass at. And dude, you don't get to say this very often in this class. Sorry guys who race this class, but it was a clean pass. Like it was dialed, like right on the inside, accelerate faster than the other person sort of pass. So you got to give credit where credit is due. It was actually a good clean pass there. Mm-hmm. Might not have been clean in other events the whole day, but in that instance, that was a pretty dialed move right there. Studer was first. Dan Gangler was second. Logan Prismanis was third. Nick Poppenfuss was fourth, and he almost had Logan on the last lap to get third, but just couldn't get it done. Mark Gerard was fifth. David LaRoe sixth. Don Drews was seventh. Tyler Fleming was eighth. Adam Cash was ninth, and then Brandon Carnier TQ. He would have been up there in the mix, or he would have won the outright, but he broke. He broke with about 3.5 minutes to go, so he finished 10th. But
that's too bad.
But he was up there. And that's it. Techno Series round 1 in the books. Pretty big stress reliever. I did a lot, man. I got so much work to do tomorrow on the track. I'm actually going to have to wake up and go do it. So I was planning on building carpet jumps tomorrow.
Yeah.
But I can't do that. So kind of butthurt. Because I wanted to make some new carpet jumps.
Yeah.
But I'll have to wait till next week. So.
That'll be okay, though.
And then I think we're going to try to crawl in the dark on Tuesday. It's supposed to be somewhat nice, I think. So.
Like glow sticks and stuff?
We got lights outside. I mean, it's not terrible at night. It's just cold.
Yeah.
So we'll see. We might have to. So I think what I'm going to do for Tiny Tuesdays for indoor mini crawling is I don't think I'm going to have like a competition anymore. I think it's just going to be like a night, like a get together kind of night. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to worry about setting up a course or anything. There was a couple of reasons. But one of them was just, there was almost too many people to do that.
Right.
Because it took like 3.5, 4 hours to get through everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or put a time limit on it. But I don't like doing that either because it takes the fun out of it. All right. You want to do a pivot break and then we'll get to the comments, then we'll get out of here.
Sure.
All right. Let's go.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
Yeah! This is a Pivot Lending Update with David Olson and Don Zoller. Get some.
This is David Olson with Pivot Lending Group. Today we have Brian Tataviano, who is the CEO and owner of Pivot Lending Group. Brian, thanks for joining.
For sure. Thanks for having me.
For the listeners, the 5 C's of lending: credit capacity, capital, conditions, and character. So those are kind of the 5 blended. But Brian and I work with a lot of financial institutions, whether it's credit unions or community banks, that do a lot of character lending. As things change and pivot in the near future, I think there's opportunities for people that are listening that you may see something on TV or on the radio or on a podcast or something like that says, hey, we're XYZ mortgage company from all across the United States, call us, boom, boom, boom. But I think if you're in one of those situations, before you start to look at maybe programs that are coming up to help put you in a position to purchase the home, that you maybe reach out to your financial institution, if it's a community bank or a credit union, because there is a lot of character lending that still hangs with those people, goes a long way. I mean, we do a lot of originating for credit unions and community banks. We always have. And I'm hoping that the credit unions that still have the spirit of the credit union. You know, there are some credit unions that are larger than most banks that I know. But you know, some of the smaller credit unions that are the epitome of that spirit are there to help.
Well, you know, credit unions never engaged in subprime lending as defined by the industry. They never did it. What they did was common sense loans. If they had been a member for 20 years and they got a divorce and their credit score went down, they would still look at a loan, a car loan, an equity loan, whatever it was, because they had the relationship and that character piece, albeit subjective, it's a big part.
Yeah.
It's a big part of how credit unions and community banks, for that matter, you know, how they lend. It's about the relationship. It's about working both sides of the balance sheet, which is assets and liabilities, which is the complete reverse for the financial institution. Your asset is their liability and your liability is their asset. So if you can swing, if you're comfortable with the payment, buy a house. Because long term, it doesn't matter what today does. It doesn't matter what rates are at today. You can refinance very easily from a 30-year to a 30-year. Equity prices, historically speaking, take all the noise out, trend upward. May not be 18% per year, but it will increase as far as value is concerned over a long period of time. One of the best forms of creating wealth is buy-in through the equity in your home. I don't suggest that you go out and you buy a ton of investment properties, but a primary residence is yours. You know, it's a good way to be able to justify. And I know that's easier said than done, but to Dave's point, as the market cools on the real estate side, 3% down, 5% down mortgages will be looked at again. You won't have to go in as a cash buyer. You can go in with lower down payment. But over the grand 10, 15, 20-year period of time, owning a home is a phenomenal investment.
Let me know if I can help. Give me a call, 402-881-5951. Shoot me a text. Just make sure that you put your name on there and the best way to reach you, whether it's via text or email. And we'll talk to you guys soon.
David Olson, NMLS 16099. Don Zoller, NMLS 277589. Pivot Lending, NMLS 109995.
We return you now to your regularly scheduled program.
So you know how I don't like wearing pants.
Yeah.
If I can get away with it.
Uh-huh.
So I do have a pair of pants I bought at Cabela's last year or this spring or whatever that are really lightweight and I like them, right? I don't feel like I'm sweating
constricted.
Everywhere. Yeah. So I've been clicking on I'm too fat for Dickies skateboard pants.
Mm-hmm.
They don't make a size 40. Which really bums me out because I was going to try a pair of those since I like Dickies shorts so much.
Yeah.
So then because I clicked on that on Facebook, I now get other ads of other pants out there. And I saw these pants and they're looking freaking sweet. And I'm like, oh, I could wear those. And it's New Venture Trousers Twill fabric. And I think twill is like super lightweight too, you know, and they kind of have the right look to them. And so I clicked on it and I'm like, how much are these things? $148. Yeah. At Lululemon. Have you ever heard of that?
I have. That's really expensive stuff.
Yeah, screw that. God. It's so frustrating. My mom used to hate shopping because she's a pretty large woman. Mm-hmm. So they never made anything cool in her size. And that was back in the 80s when like everything was neon and
now she'd be in style.
Polka dot and stuff like that. Yeah. Anyways. Yeah, $148. F that. There was something else I was going to mention and I forgot all about it because I was looking at that. You know how easy it is to get distracted.
Yeah.
When you're scrolling through stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go through the comments real fast. Jackson Anderson says he surprised me at Hobbytown. He showed up for a carpet race without his car, of course, but
yeah,
was there just hanging out. Steve says, "What on the first Monday?" I know, and the problem is that like I said last week, I was sick, so we didn't do one last week instead. And I wanted to talk about the Techno series, so
right,
we made an exception.
Mm-hmm.
Fasty says it was definitely awesome to see Nate Sutherland do so well last weekend. I agree.
Oh yeah, he's a great kid.
Yep, it was pretty awesome. Mike K says, that fro, how have you guys been? Hope all is well. Mike's Sanders made the main. I don't know if we talked about that. He made the main in a stock truck.
Yeah.
John Haas, when we were talking about the lottery, he's like, lump sum tax-free Moonies? Yeah, I don't think it's tax. The lump sum gets, basically take the lump sum and then chop it in half pretty much.
Yeah.
Because it's
37%.
But it's state and local taxes.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So my sister says if you win, you better be sharing with your sister. I already said what I was going to do. If I won, trust me, I would take care of my close friends and family.
Oh yeah.
John Haas likes your plan. He says he can run your restaurant.
Really?
Yeah.
I'll remember that.
Steve RC also says way cool plan, Will. See, mine's selfish. Mine's like, well, see ya. That's my plan.
Yeah, John Haas, you'll be in charge of the restaurant if it happens.
Fasty says he'll do the IT for it.
Okay. Just people that want to come in and get some money.
John Haas says in exchange for free racing and accommodations.
That's all you'd need. You wouldn't need money.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Okay, great.
Working cheap.
I will say this weekend I also had so I had some stuff going on. So we didn't live stream the lower mains like usual. My phone was low, so I couldn't do it. But then also I do plan on getting our actual camera up and doing live stream that way with the other computer when I do these things. It's just that I didn't have time.
Mm-hmm.
So I took the Sportsman Nitro A and the Expert Nitro A. I'm gonna load up the Expert Nitro A to YouTube tonight when I get home. But I am going to do another live stream test with the computer that I plan on using with that. But I will say that I did the backup thing again, and it's such a peace of mind knowing that if something did go wrong with my laptop, that I still had this running.
Right.
But the last main of the day, I forgot to change the time. It's one of the things that won't change if you do it both ways. And so the race on the backup computer, it was still set for 5 minutes instead of 10 for the main. So if and I didn't notice it, so I gotta make sure I fix that next time.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Barrett says the Plex would be getting an exhaust system and misters if he won.
That'd be cool.
Yeah. Ben Shore says, and pain every day. I don't know what that means. Now we know how to find Will if he changes his name.
Yeah.
Steve RC says if he win, he would want the Plex to have some upgrades. Andy was like, yeah, there were some guys that went Sunday and practiced, and I watched some. I was up a couple times and I looked at the camera to see who might have been there, and I did see the dog, so I knew that somebody was there. Jackson says he couldn't go to the first round because he was in town last weekend visiting family, so it didn't make sense to miss class again the following week and spend more money. Plus, he doesn't have a job yet. Now he does. All right, here's one that I would love to talk about. Ben Shore says, shouldn't sportsmen be the dividing line between pace? Lots of sponsored drivers should clearly be in sportsmen.
Eh.
Then why are they sponsored?
Yeah, exactly.
If you're good enough to get sponsored, you should run expert. That's just what I think, and I'm gonna keep that rule. I prefer the sportsman class to be filled with people who pay full price for their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Happily. A lot of it from the Hobbyplex. And if you're out there chasing sponsors, you should be an expert. That's just my opinion. So
Yeah.
that's something I've been pretty happy about. There have been one or two people that have snuck under the radar that are sponsored or picked up a sponsor and kind of try to keep it quiet. But that really hasn't happened for a while. Jackson Anderson says TikTok settlement money right there. He's talking about a super chat. That's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Hey, what truck is that behind you? On the
Which one?
1, 2, 3, fourth shelf down. Fourth shelf down to your right.
That one?
No, more to your right.
That one?
Yeah, what is that?
Oh, that's a RC10 GT.
Oh, it is? That's your GT?
Yeah. Let me go get it. Yeah.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, this is a all original RC10 GT.
Oh, ready to run.
No, well, no. Well, yeah.
Because it's got the ready to run body and the ready to run engine on it.
Uh-huh.
That's pretty neat.
Yep. Yeah.
It looked smaller back there.
Mm-hmm.
But then when you went back there, I'm like, oh.
Yeah, it has the Aerotronics receiver in it and the what is it? All their Aerotronics stuff in it. I have the original engine and somebody put this HPI one in here.
Well,
but
I've
never.
Was that Jamie's?
No.
No?
I got this from a guy from work.
Oh, because that was the thing back in the day, locally in Lincoln. Dude, the Nitro Star from HPI, that was a very, very popular gas truck engine.
Yeah, look at that chassis.
Yeah, it's clean.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
Yeah, no, it's in good shape.
Yeah, it is.
I got that from Stu Schneider. Oh, here come the kittens. Aaron's home and Dasha went upstairs, and now the kittens came downstairs. And they're like, "Where are you trying to keep us from?"
Yeah, we're almost done.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, it's an all original GT, and I always wanted one. I gave him $200 for it. I don't know. Yeah, probably overpaid. I got some other stuff for it.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, I got like a couple engines and some other stuff. I mean, it wasn't like $200 cash. It was some other stuff.
Yeah. Andy Barrett says TJ got caught up in his mix in Sportsman Electric and dropped all the way back to 6 before making his way back up to 2nd. There was a late, I remember a late race charge there. Fasty says he got hit by a truggy and he liked it.
Oh, really?
He's one of those people who like pain and stuff.
Yeah. What is that? Not a sadist, but no, it is a sadist, isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
I don't know.
Let's see.
A glutton for punishment.
Yep. Tannehill says if I ever go to Lulu, make sure you wear sunglasses. I don't know what that means.
Me neither.
Chicago RC Cars hates Mike Kelly, had a blast at Techno Series, well worth a drive. Thanks.
Nice.
Jose Fortoso says if you win, you should take care of all the people that hit the like button right now. Yeah, why not? $1,000 to every single person who hits like for this one.
Yeah, I guaranteed.
Yeah,
I'll
guaranteed
give you
$1,000.
If you like and subscribe.
Let's see. Unfortunately missed the e-buggy main. Thought we were running the nitro rounds first. So I went into something to eat. Then thought I said that we were running the nitro runs first. Then went and got something to eat. Sorry, my bad. Then he broke his suspension on first lap of Mini Truggy. That's pretty easy to do with Mini Truggy.
Yeah.
I think this is Tyler Studer dropping a super chat. Thanks for keeping the races running smooth with the yeah. Well, thanks, man. You're only $100 away from paying for the transponder that you kept last year. I'm just kidding. Comes with the territory. Steve RC, is their stadium truck for carpet? Yeah, I mean, there could be if you guys would show up with them.
Mm-hmm.
But we've only had, the first week we had Ben, Andrew, and somebody else. And I can't remember if I'm really sorry if I'm forgetting. Oh, Poteet, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second week we only had Poteet. And then the third week, I think we only had Andrew. So, you know, can't run a race with one person. So,
Right.
that's it. That's all the comments we got through. So up next, let's see, give you some schedule things because we got with all the stuff going on right now. So next week we'll be on. We'll talk about just the weekend racing and what's going on this weekend. AMS.
Dude, I don't know.
Yeah, I
can't keep it all.
I think
straight.
I'll try to keep it all straight, and we'll chat a little bit about what's going on in RC and everything like that. So we'll be back on the 14th, but then the 21st, my sister is actually going to be out of town, so we're not going to do anything on the 21st. The 28th, we should be on, and then we leave 2 days after that for Phoenix, and we'll not be on, obviously, for the first Monday of December. That's a travel day for you and I, anyways, coming back. So.
Mm-hmm.
Should be through. Oh yeah, that's right. Fast Lanes races this weekend too, so we'll have plenty to talk about.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Plenty to talk about. Before we go, the shop got in the Traxxas XRT.
Mm-hmm.
We had one on pre-order, and then I think we sold like 5 of them on Friday. So that's a big deal. That's like a low. Have you seen that? It's a low center of gravity max, X Max.
Huh. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It'd be better for bashing around the trailer court, you know?
Yeah. It's big and pretty popular. And then the TRX 4M goes on sale this coming up Friday, and we already have them at the shop. We just can't sell them until Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And they're pretty good bang for your buck. They're $150, and it's all there. I mean, Traxxas did a really good job of keeping that price tag on those low. And then today we just got in the Capra, the mini Capra, 18 scale Capra. Tomorrow I'm gonna do an unboxing on it. So my TRX4 mini video unboxing is actually doing pretty well on YouTube right now. So I might follow it up with the Capra. And I ordered one for myself.
Mm-hmm.
So my from Horizon Hobby can kind of wiggle around some pricing for us if we want something every once in a while. So I kind of begged. So I should have it at the store here in a few days.
Mm-hmm.
So lots of new stuff coming out. I think there's going to be more new stuff coming out here shortly. Some pretty exciting stuff if any of what I saw that I can't talk about comes like is in the pipeline, this is going to be a pretty cool couple years of RC. So
yeah, oh yeah.
Studer's leaving for AMS Wednesday.
Nice.
And I think I know Mason and Jared are going. I bet you Chris Morant's going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure the rest of the Nitro gang we have. I'm sure Graham Hill will be there. All the usual Nitro heads.
Mm-hmm.
So, will the XRT ever come as a roller? No. Traxxas doesn't do that.
Nah. Ray Run or nothing. Though they did have that.
They do have a couple kits.
The Platinum edition of the Slash.
Yeah, that's true.
Mm-hmm.
And they do have kits. They've got a Slash kit, a Stampede 4x4 kit, and then their crawler kits. They do have kits, but I don't think they're going to do the XRT as a roller.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, the what am I trying to say? The Arma rollers, the big giant ones.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, all of them, they don't really sell that well.
Oh, really?
So I don't know why Traxxas would want to do a roller. They just.
I think that Traxxas products in general as a demographic has always been more of the turnkey type stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like the guy that's going to buy a Traxxas car and build a kit is probably in the 5% tile of people that buy RC cars. It's like, why wouldn't you just buy a race car? You know?
Oh, it's her butt. Her butt's right in the couch. She's doing the butt thing.
Yeah. Get out of here. Come on. Yeah.
All right. It's time to go. I'm going to go home and work on my cars and
Yeah, my stuff's ready.
I got
I'm
a lot of work
ready.
to do tomorrow to the track so we can race, so we can have a good race on Friday.
Mm-hmm.
And then tomorrow night at 2 a.m. is Andor, episode 10 that I stay up for. So I'm going to be super tired on Wednesday. And I think I'm going to race F1 on Wednesday.
Nice.
Actually, no, you know what I'm going to go do? I'm going to go drag race on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have, and Council Bluffs are doing this drag race thing, and it's supposed to be nice out on Wednesday, and it might be the last chance to do it all year long, and I haven't drag raced all year long, so I'm going to go.
Mm-hmm.
I got to put a receiver in my drag car, and I'm going to go.
That'd be cool.
Yeah, I hope so. So, I'll race F1 the following week.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this show's been brought to you by Pivot Lending Group. You can find them at pivotlending.com. Mention our show to Don Zoller or Aiden Olson's dad. And you can get a $500 lender credit or 0.125 off of your interest rate. Do that so we can keep getting this paid for so we can come to you weekly. Otherwise, to be honest with you, I don't know what we'd do. I'd have to talk to John, the new owner, and be like, hey, you want to sponsor the show?
Yeah. The old owner did.
yeah, the old owner did. All right, well, we'll see you.
Yep. Thanks for watching, guys.
Yep.